In this video, I summarize some tips that can help you master any Fukuro obi bow tie. This video is more helpful to those who already know a few ways to tie Fukuro obi. When you learn to tie a new Fukuro obi bow, always pay attention to three things. How long the short end is reserved. Is the short end up or down after the first knot? Is the triple layer elastic belt placed above or behind the obi? If you made a mistake in these three steps, there's a high chance you need to start from scratch. Something that shouldn't bother you much is the direction you wrap the obi around. It mainly depends on which side of the obi you want to show. Another thing you can adjust based on your own preference is how you fold the obi. Usually the obi is folded in half. But if you want more portion of the obi to be visible, feel free to adjust accordingly. Here I summarize the three main ways to tie the bow. First, petal by petal. You make one small piece at a time like this until you use all the fabric. Second, fold the entire long end into one big bow. Then use the triple layer elastic belt to hold it diagonally. Then the obi makura will be placed at the center above and then covered by the short end, like this. The third way is very similar to the second one, but instead of diagonally, the bow is held perfectly horizontal. In this case, you will use two elastic belts and make a crossing at the center of the bow. This way the bow will be held in position tight and stable. The obi makura will be placed under the bow to lift it and then covered by the short end. These three ways can be mixed to create new designs. Here I would like to talk about the usage of triple layer elastic belt. Our goal is to create small grid by crossing the elastic belt over each other. This grid will hold the obi go through them in position. There's no strict rule about how to use them, but people find some ways are better than the other, especially the first two steps. You usually use two belts in the first step, and then use the one left over in the second step. In this way, you not only successfully create the grid to hold the first two petals, but also leaving all three belts easily accessible for the next step. So why not use all three belts in the very first step, like this? Well, you see there's nothing holding the obi at the back. You fail to create a close border grid to hold the obi. Then why not using one belt at a time? Let's give it a try. You see, after creating the first two petals, I will need to use the third belt, which is completely blocked by the first two. Now I will show you how to adjust the length while you tying the obi. If you feel the long end is too long, you can fold the bottom part narrow and tuck the extra fabric between the two layers of obis. This way you can also create some extra support for your obi makura and bow tie to sit on. If you are making a bow tie petal by petal, then of course you can adjust the length by changing the size of the petal. Making it smaller to reserve more fabric for future use, or the other way around. When you're making a big bow tie with the long end, you can adjust the size of the bow tie intuitively. This one seems too small, so make it bigger like this. Seems too big. Feel free to fold it in your own way to suit your need. Here's something you should pay attention. The triple layer elastic belt should be covered completely. There are different ways to achieve this goal. For example, when you make the last petal, instead of doing this, make a twist to cover the elastic belt, like this. Or like this. Fold the obi along the diagonal line to make it longer. Make a spiral to cover the belt. By the way, you can always use extra accessories like hair tie to help you shape the obi. For example, here I'm using a hair tie to build a small flower. You can use the triple layer elastic belt, but it may be too loose. Using a hair tie is a safer option, like this. You are also supposed to cover the obimakura. Usually the short end is reserved for this job. Fold the extra fabric up, which will be fixed by obijimi. Now let's talk about what makes your bow tie looks good. Details matter. If the bow tie is supposed to be symmetric, try to make it perfectly symmetric. Not only the shape, but the wrinkles as well. Also, tilt the bow tie up like this. The obimakura will be placed below. Also, make sure the fabric is well aligned. The liner of the obi should not be visible. I recommend try to cover the obimakura completely. I've seen obi bow tie like this, with large portion of obimakura visible, and I don't like it. You can achieve more coverage easily by adjust the folding of the short end. See, this is much better. Here I simply fold the obi in half, and the two edge sides don't look identical. Here's how you can improve it. Fold the obi from both sides inward, preferably equal portion. Try to make it a perfect polygon as much as you can, so everything looks neat and tidy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.